parallel that we'll work with. So let's start with some breathing. So closing your eyes, you can just switch the cross, or if you need to lie down, please do that. And take a couple breaths to arrive. And then just sense yourself, feel into the present moment with you in it. So I like to do a body scan when I want to do that. So we're like starting at the eyes and the head and just kind of scanning down my body and just noticing what's there. If there's tension in the head or the ears, if there's a lot of mental activity. Noticing the throat, is there any tightness or restriction in the throat? The top of the chest. Then noticing how you breathe. What does the breath feel like to enter your body? Noticing shoulders. Noticing the upper shoulders, the side. Where do you feel tight in the shoulders? Do they feel heavy? Noticing your arms. Noticing even your fingers. Can you sense even your fingers? Can you sense your hands? Then bring your awareness down into the heart space, kind of noticing what it's like to touch into that area, to the abdominals, to the core. How does your digestion feel? Do you feel heavy today, light, hungry? What's the energy like in your abdomen? Moving down into the pelvis. Noticing your hips today. Do they feel tight? Do they feel open? Is it hard to sense? Going down into your legs. Keep breathing. Just noticing how the legs feel today. And as you go down in your body, notice that there's more awareness or less in the upper body. Maybe noticing the areas that's hard to sense and the areas that feel easy. Go all the way down to your feet. And then just take an inventory energetically to how you feel. Again, where is energy more concentrated? Where is it less? Do you have a lot of energy today? Do you feel tired? Noticing your mind again, noticing kind of that effect on your physicality. And then noticing your emotions. If there's anything you detect that you feel today. How is it to connect to the emotions of your body, of yourself? Is that hard to do, easy? Then just take 5 breaths of just not so much scanning, just kind of that sensing of the you, the totality of you, your physicality, the mind, emotions, that supreme awareness. And then start to take in the breath. We'll take it in for 4 to 5 counts. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4 at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out. 4, 3. Feel yourself grounding. 2, 1. Breathe in. Feel yourself lengthening. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Feel presence. 2, 3, 4. Feel the emptying. 4, 3. Grounding. 2, 1. Lengthening. Inhale. Holding, feeling fullness, relaxing. Exhaling. Now listen, inhale 4. Right away, exhale 4. Now hold on the exhale without breath 4, 3, 2, 1, sip in for 4, inhale. 3, 4, exhale right away, 4, 3, 2, hold at the bottom of the exhale without breath, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, right away, exhale. Feel the emptying. Get all the breath out, hold. Just breathing in and out, 4, 3, 2, 1, emptying, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Breathe out. One more cycle, breathe in. Breathe out. Nice. Bring your hands to meet at your heart. Take a moment to sense yourself one more time after that breath. Just kind of noticing the effects and shifts of just a few moments of breathing, what it does to your mind, your emotions. Nice work, you guys. Okay, slowly, when you're ready, head onto your back. And let's start with, again, those extremities. So first, just take your feet up and roll your ankles. So you can bend your knees however you want. Roll those ankles, point and flex. Try to even get all of your toes to wiggle. So it's kind of putting some awareness into the feet. And maybe start to shake, start to bend and straighten the knees. So maybe kind of kicking your heels towards your bum, so getting the knees, turn the thighs out, start to get a little bit of the hips. You can kind of do all these at once, just trying to really wake up the legs. And then find a happy baby. So you can grab the outer edges of your feet and pull down. You can also grab ankles and backs of the knees and roll side to side. You can bend and straighten the legs. Really try to flex through the feet so that you can feel the toes pull back and get that stretch at the bottom of your feet. And then go ahead and cross that right foot behind the left. So I'm going to grab the big toe side of my right foot. Go ahead and lower the left foot and give a little stretch at the front of the foot. So as I lower my right thigh to the floor, my right thigh is turned out, and so that I can kind of open the groin or thigh. And then I'm pulling with my hand to get a stretch at the top of the foot. So I'm kind of doing this with my foot. With my hand. So my left hand is stretching the top of the right foot. And I'm going to give a little massage there to the base of the toe beds and kind of right below that, kind of that upper part of my arch while I'm relaxing through the right. My right arm can come up if it wants, or it can just stay by my side. Give a little massage in there. Feel that right thigh completely relax and open. And then go ahead and come back up. Again, wiggle, shake. Just kind of get some energy going in the legs. And then we'll switch. The left foot's going to go behind the right. Grab onto the top of your foot. Lower your right heel. Then again, that right heel is like a kickstand. So I can rest my left ankle behind it. That way it kind of gives it a nice little stretch. Then with my right hand, I'm going to pull back with the right toes to get a nice little stretch there. And I can massage with my right thumb, kind of the top of the arch. Left arm can go up and over if you want a nice little stretch there, or you can just keep it by your belly or heart. Keep relaxing through the left thigh. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, take one more breath, and then this time bring the knees out, grab the tops of the ankles, roll the ankles, just let your heels descend. So you get a little inner thigh stretch, little hips. Roll those ankles, get some good energy going there. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. And then we're just going to warm up a little bit through the core. So go ahead and bring your legs to tabletop and release your hands behind your head. For the first little bit, we're going to turn the thighs in, so the heels will press, the knees turn out. That's your going to be your exhale. Then your inhale, you press out in a high diagonal. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, knees wide, heels in. Inhale, press your legs out. And then I keep my heels pressing together as I press out. Exhale. Inhale. So start to really feel your core turn on. So the belly pulls back, ribs to hips, shoulders relax, heads relaxed. But I'm starting to feel that inner leg line, the outer leg line. So focus your awareness at your core. So as we're building this heat, hopefully we're finding a sense of centering. So we're going to be going all the way out to the periphery of the body. Feeling this kind of bring us first to our center. Let's do 4 more. Use your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last 2. Nice. And then go ahead and bring the knees in. You can give them a little swirl side to side. And then feet go down, arms out wide, windshield wiper your legs a little bit side to side to get those thighs turning, hips. Once again, waking up the hips. We're going to continue waking up the legs and the hips before we move up the body. So rock and roll yourself up to a seat, and I'm just going to turn and face you. Before we move on, I want you just to give the feet a little massage. So really there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I just like to kind of like with my hands find those tender spots in my foot and notice what you find and just kind of bring some prana there. So if you want to activate your hands first, if you don't feel that, go ahead and do that first. But I like to kind of do this with intention, right? That you're waking up all the different receptors on your feet, all the different points that correlate to spots in the other part of the body. The whole body is mapped out in the feet, Chinese medicine, so you can just find good tender spots, kind of wiggle your toes. And as you're doing this, just imagining bringing kind of energy and life to these feet, to our foundations. So you can go up the leg if you want to a little bit. Nice deep breaths as you do this. So working with our feet is a good way too to ground ourselves and to also like pull energy out of the head. So it can be a nice little break if you're feeling really cerebral or kind of having a hard time focusing, is like work with your feet. Kind of bring the energy down a bit. So take a moment in between feet and just kind of noticing what's there. And then head into down dog before we do the second one. And just noticing the foot that you've massaged, how it might feel different on the mat than the one that you haven't touched yet. So move around so you can feel what you have access to that's different than maybe the one you haven't. Give a nice little stretch of the calf on the foot that you massage. You might wrap your right foot behind, then lift and lower a few times. Really get that heel to loosen towards the floor. Maybe you lift and lower. Maybe you can go back to stretching the top of the foot again in your down dog. Again, just the leg that you worked. Okay, then come back down and we'll do the second foot when you're ready. And then just notice between sides what's different. So does one side have more sensation or less? What's it like to give your feet some attention? Like I always notice, like, why are my feet so sore in like every place? It's like, I think Cam needs to give me more foot massages. Yeah. That's what I take from this exercise. Get those good toe mounds. So if you had a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball, those are great to just roll around your feet in the morning. Those are really good ways to open up shoulders and hips too, like a backdoor approach. So if you find a lot of tightness in your feet, it could be a great way to just wake up, like while you're brushing your teeth, put that ball down, roll on it before you go out for a run or a walk. Okay, so after you finish that leg, come on into down dog and work again with your down dog and your calf, and just feel into that leg. Uh-oh, I think Rachel's having computer trouble. Okay, friends. So bend those knees, come into your squat dog, so you can really send the hips back, feel that low back stretch. Come forward, plank pose. Drop your knees down, bring your heels in, feel the fronts of the thighs stretch. Take a little baby chaturanga all the way down, and then straighten your legs, pull the hands back, cobra. First one, so pull the shoulders back, anchor your hips. And then all the way back, child's pose. You can tuck your toes in child's pose if you want a little more activity through your feet, or you can flatten your feet. All fours to downward facing dog. And then nice and slowly walk your feet to your hands, like really feeling your feet contact the mat. And then come to a halfway lift, hands to your heart. Root down through your feet, lengthen your spine, and come all the way up to standing. Okay, so you're gonna do a little Surya Namaskar to wake up the feet and wake up the legs and the hips. So we'll start with our intention. So kind of let every kind of Surya Namaskar that we do be a way to wake up through your whole body and send your intention out. So kind of going back to why you're here and what you're practicing for. Go ahead and find that in your mind's eye. Take a deep breath. Reach up, feel that intention, and then exhale, sit back into your squat. And then inhale, reach up. So the legs are shoulder width, exhale, sit back into your squat. So just keep going. Just building a little heat. So the feet are flat for this one. Hips sit back. Each time you do a squat, maybe there's a little bit more depth. We have 3 more. And on this one, stand all the way up, big stretch, and then just exhale, sit back and hold. Feel the side waist lengthen, the belly draw back, deep breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Long spine, inhale. And on your exhale, step your right leg back. Put your right knee down. Take a moment to let your hips release, feel your back toes. You can tuck them or untuck them. Bring your belly back and then reach your arms up. Okay, so starting to feel that lift out of the hips, that front thigh reaching forward. So wake up your feet here. So wiggle the fingers and toes. Deep breath in. And then on the exhale, take the hands down to the floor and then step into your down dog squat 5 times. So bend the knees, come forward. One more. All the way out to plank. Hold your plank. Nice deep breath. And then tap the knees down, lift the knees up. Keep your belly nice and strong. You have 1 more. And then this time, drop the knees down, heels squeeze in, tap the toes. So I want you to feel the heels squeeze in, feeling the hamstrings tighten, but your abs are really strong. 1 more. And then take your baby chaturanga all the way down. Extend the legs. This time you can lift them if you like, locust pose. So thighs lift, shoulders go back, lift your chest, and then all the way down. Pressing up to plank, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Can you do that 4 count breath again? Breathing in for 4 or 5, and then out. And then once again, we're going to take that left leg up. We're going to bend the knee and then straighten the leg. So really feel your heel wake up, your toes wake up, the heel pull in, hips are square. Feel that thigh stretch. One more, hold it so you can lift from the top of the thigh so that you can feel that you're getting a stretch from the front of the thigh. Hamstring work, and then bring your knee into your nose. Step your left leg forward. This time it's a high lunge. So get that back thigh lifted. Kind of pull your outer left hip back and the arms reach up. Nice deep breath. So just lifting up, feeling the side waist lengthen, getting some nice good stretch of your spine. Send that front shin forward as much as you can. Back thigh lifted. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. This time we're going to exhale, take the hands to maybe blocks if you have it, or floor. I'm going to grab my blocks. And we're going to come to what we call like a standing L. So the left knee can bend or it can straighten, but I like a little bend. You're going to tap the right toes up and lower them down. So the left hip is stabilizing. So make sure that you're feeling that left inner thigh line. I want it to feel like it's rooting so that you feel a little lighter in your outer left hip so that we're not laying into it. Belly pulls back. Think about plank. So think about a nice little buoyant lift. Okay, you have 5 more. With control, you're lifting and lowering, and your spine is long. So use your hand on a wall if you don't have blocks. And then 2. And then 1 more, lift and hold. Feel that ankle draw back. We're going to need this. Can you make sure that you feel that left inner thigh line rooting down, long spine. And then right leg meets the left, halfway lift, hands to the heart. Fold on your exhale. Bend your knees, rolling up all the way up. Arms stretch up. And then exhale, hands to meet at the heart. Okay, this time we're gonna let the shins go forward, and we're gonna feel the heels lift. So these squat little pulses are gonna kind of target the medial quad. So it's gonna be inhale, exhale, or you can just leave hands at the heart, but we're pulsing up and down. So you're breathing, heels are lifting, so we're waking up feet. You got 3, 2, hold it down, breathe, heels are lifted, feel your quads, pull the belly back, breathe for 3, for 2, heels down, forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine. And on the exhale, take the left leg back for warrior 1. I'm sorry, for low lunge. We have to do the second side. Let's do that first. Knee down. Let the hips come forward a bit. Feel that front shin release, but then anchor through your back foot so you have that back anchor. When you're ready, lift up. So the ribs pull back and in a bit. I'm feeling that lifting out of my hips, but the thighs are separating. Waking up through the legs, breathing, finding my breath. Okay, as I'm ready, I'm going to exhale the hands down, and then I'll come back to that squat dog. So I'm going to lift the heels, bend the knees 5 times. Starting to really get some blood flow in your legs. Last time, here's your plank, all the way out. And then alternate the legs this time. So I'm going to try and keep the hips somewhat stable, and I'm just moving the legs. Keep your core nice and strong, low back long, and then both knees drop, heels stretch in, tap the toes. So try not to move the hips forward and back. So I want you to feel the strength of the hamstrings and the stretch of the front of the thighs. 1 more hold, look forward, chaturanga to your belly. Option to do the pose we did last week, which was lift the thighs, lift the arms that you don't touch. That was activating glute strength, upper back strength. Or you can go back to locust or cobra. And then come all the way back. Downward facing dog. Okay, that right leg is going to lift up. We're going to pull the heel in, right? And then I'm going to try and lift through that thigh so that I can really feel that stretch. So feel that lift. Then bring your knee in towards your nose. Now you'll feel your core. Step your right leg forward. Nice and slow, come up high lunge. Back thigh lifted, front shin descending, and I'm lifting up. Getting length in my spine, sides of the neck long. Make sure you can feel your feet. Now hinge forward, and then reach into those two blocks for standing L. So remember that front knee can be bent or straight, but what we don't want is all the weight of the right hips shooting to the right. So the more I can reach through my right inner thigh line, I take some of the load off so I can bring this hip back. Then I'm going to tap and lift. And we'll use this later for a shape that we really want to feel that lift at the back of the leg. So the belly lifts off the thighs. So if you might want a higher block, that can be helpful. Keep breathing. 2. 1 more. And then bring both feet together. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold on in. And then bend your knees, roll all the way up. Nice, roll those shoulders. Take a moment with your palms out. Kind of feel what's happening in the legs. So starting to notice if there's more energy in your legs and the upper extremities. Should be, but they may not be. So just kind of being able to decipher that. Okay, we're going to switch it up now. So we had legs turned forward. Now we're going to turn the thighs out for like a malasana type squat. So the toes out, heels in. So now we'll start to externally rotate the hips. You don't have to go all the way down. It's not about the depth, but more that, again, just working the legs straight. So the arms are going to come up, and then we're going to exhale, and I'm just going to tap my elbows to my thighs. Reach up, reach back. So what's really important is the knees are going in the center of the feet. This helps the knees track, so it doesn't put undue strain on the knees. So widen your knees as you sit back, and try to allow your pubic bone to be in the center of the squat, so it's not over to the right or the left. You have 3 more. Sync up your breath, and then come all the way down and hold. So I'm going to allow my spine to stay lifted, pressing into my feet. If you want to go lower, please do. Build some heat here for 3, for 2. And then on the exhale, turn the toes to face forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, long spine. And with your right leg, step it back to warrior 2. So that's heel to arch. So first, just go ahead and move that left hip back and under. So the left hip likes to swing wide. So you're going to use those outer hips to draw that left hip in towards the right side of your mat. Now use your right outer hip to press the outer edge of your right foot away from your front foot. So 2 outer hips turn on, and we windmill the arms up for warrior 2. So now we're going to do a little bit of some wrist stretches, right? So now roll your wrists. Start to get into the hands. While you're in this, pressing down, pressing apart, roll your wrist. And then go ahead and give me some bicep curls. Just warming up through the arms. Yeah. And now I'll do this little triceps. So press the arms back. And again, we're just trying to move in the arm in all the ways the arm can move. Nice. And then take the arms up. Pull it down like you're doing a pull-up. Breathing in. Exhale. Keep those legs working. Go a little lower. 1 more. And on this one, straighten the arms. You're going to internally and externally rotate. So you can move the shoulders or you can just move the arms. And just work out all the kinks. Then I like to just shake the arms. I want you to stay really strong in your legs. I know they're starting to talk to you maybe a little bit. And then just feel the energy in your arms first. Then take those arms all the way up. Warrior two. Gaze front or back, doesn't matter. And then we'll take a reverse warrior. So reaching up, feeling the side stretch, so strong through those legs, especially that front hip. Keep it descending. Come to side angle, hand on thigh, arms sweeping up and over. Stay low if you can. Keep pressing into that back foot. Come back to warrior two. Take a deep breath in, sink in on the exhale, and then arms cartwheel down to the floor. We're going to go to plank. Remember that squat dog where we turn the thighs out? To do that, and then come forward. Turn out, come forward. So I'm pivoting on the ball mount of my foot. Two more. One more. Plank pose. As you're ready, drop to the right knee. Drop to the right knee. And then from here, we're going to do a little bit of side hip work. So kickstand the left toes over to the right, and then straighten that right leg out. So I like to move my left knee kind of further towards my foot. And I'm going to use a block for my hand, because it kind of helps lift me up a little higher. So feel free to do that. So what's really important is that you press the hips forward and tailbones long. So I want you to feel core here. Okay, so right hand can go behind your head, can go up, or can come to your hip. You decide. Lift that leg, and you're going to bring it slightly forward, flex the foot, and then point the toe, bring it back. Flex the foot, bring it forward, not your hip, just your leg, point it and bring it back. Yeah, so it's really challenging. Flexion, extension. Flexion, so your core is strong. Extension doesn't have to be high, you guys, but try to move your leg independent of your hips. Two more. You got it. Nice, lower it down for a moment. Take a stretch, just stretch up and over. Let that go for a moment. Breathe in and out. And then you're going to go ahead and bring your hands down to the floor. And then shoot that left leg out. Plank pose, all the way down, chaturanga. You got it. And then go ahead and bend the knees. If you'd like to reach back and grab your feet, you can. You don't have to. You can always do it without. And we're going to do 5 times. We're going to lift up a bit, and then we're going to lower down. And then we're going to lift up a bit, and then we're going to lower down. 2 times. And then on this time, lift up, and maybe you can hold. Press thigh bones away as you lift. Shoulders back. All the way down. Nice. Release. Pressing up plank. Downwards facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. That left leg is going to lift up. Remember our scorpion dog, so we bend the knee. We rotate the hip to the left, and now we lift the left side of the pelvis up and towards the sky. Right outer hip, bring it back, bring your right heel down. You should feel a little rotation here and a lot of outer hip work. Now straighten that left leg like a half moon. Nice, and then turn it to face down, bring your left leg forward. And then we're going to go horse pose, so toes out, heels in. So toes out, heels in, just like that squat. And here's a wrist stretch. So press out, and when your palms are up, bring your thumb to the center of your palm, wrap the hands down, and then draw down with your fist. I have my arms a little lower than my shoulders, and take 5 deep breaths there. Really feeling that whole neckline from your ears to the side of the neck, down the sides of the shoulders, stretch. And then relax. Rotate the wrist. And then second one is going to be hitchhiker style. So thumb up, and then you're going to wrap, and then you're going to let the thumb line go down. So now it should be more of the inner arm line, And then from here, just pull the arms gently back so you get a little chest and thumb line stretch. So like I'm pouring a pitcher of water, I let the wrist go down. Go a little lower. Breathe in. And then nice, take a deep breath in. And then you're gonna take your hands to your heart. So we're gonna go towards the left, and I'm gonna step my left leg back, short side warrior two. Okay, short stance warrior two. Turn my waist so that my right waist is up, and I'm gonna go into my half moon. So I'm gonna step right in. So I'm gonna, again, adjust left hip back, and then think about that warrior two we held for a long time. Lift that right leg up, and it doesn't matter if it goes high. I just want you to feel the strength of your right hip lifting, the strength of your left hip stabilizing. And you're gonna try this a few times, and you're just gonna go in as you please. You're gonna come back to like a squat, turn, transfer, half moon. Just like 2 more times, just to feel the different muscles of your hips start to have to work. I turn, waist turns, outer hip, come back, and then here's your last one. We'll end with half moon. So if you want to use a block, so I'm on a diagonal, so I'm not facing directly forward in my mat. So it's helpful to have a circular mat for that, but if you don't. So that left hip comes in so that you feel the inner thigh line of your left leg. That right inner thigh line reaches towards your foot. Your right outer hip line lifts and reaches towards your foot. One more breath. And then exhale, forward fold. You can turn towards the front if you're not there. Shake your hips out side to side. Now come up to halfway lifted on those blocks. Okay, so I'm going to bend the left knee considerably. And I'm just going to take the right leg out and in. Out and in. Out and in. I'm just kind of skating it. So I have my left knee bent. And then I'm going to take it back and out to the side. So take it straight back, out to the side to hover. Warrior three leg, outer hip, 2 more. 1 more. And this time I stay out and come up. It's a chair pose with my foot out to the side. So hold, you can hover the foot. Bring your arms up if you want for 3, 2, and stand tall. Inhale, exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment, pause and breathe. We're gonna do a little neck stuff in between. So staying with that right side neck, we're gonna take your hand to the side of your head, right arm out to the side, step your right leg behind your left, and then feel those hips stretch to the right. So really feeling the head drop, the hips move to the right. Move your jaw, and then slowly come up. We'll switch. So right leg to the right, left leg behind. Grab with your right hand the left side of the face. And as you let your hips press to the left, your head presses to the right. And then release. Come to standing. And back to the wrist, just massage your hands a little bit. So I'm just gonna get all those nice little spots in my hands. And just kind of noticing now when we do the shapes, if you'll be able to feel more energy from your hands. So we're gonna do more shoulders on this next left side. So noticing that. Okay. And you might rub your hands together again. Flame energy, just really wake up the wrist and the hands, okay? All right, you got this. So the choice is to repeat what we just did, which was the toes turned out, up and down, or you can go all the way down into Malasana, and it can be just tiny pulses of lifting and lowering. So you can go way down and do this, or tender knees. I want you to just repeat this, but maybe you stay a little lower, okay? So 10 times inhaling and exhaling. Toes and knees out. The knees are tracking with the middle of the foot, so you have to really press into that external rotation, okay? So you're gonna count to your 10, Using your breath, generating some heat. You got this for 3, for 2. Good, and then stay for a moment. Build a couple more rounds of breath to build that heat. This is again where you want to stay present, feel your body. And then exhale, fold. Turn your toes to face forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, the left leg is going to step back for warrior 2. But before we come right up to standing, set up your heel to arch. Move your right outer hip back and towards the left side of your mat so that you feel the knee and the foot same line. And you can notice that right outer hip working immediately. Now press your left foot out and away so that you feel your heels are pressing apart, like they're making your sticky mat longer. When you have both those actions, come on up, warrior 2. And hold that feeling of pressing apart. So if you put your hands here, you should feel quite a bit of work in these guys, right? So yes, this can open, and yes, this can open, but we want to feel the work being here and in the glutes, right? So if you're not feeling that, keep pressing your heels apart and work on that. So maybe you kind of bend and straighten, or you move your thigh. You can kind of put your hand there for extra resistance, or put a block or put your wall there, and that kind of helps. Okay, we're going to work the shoulders, okay? So we're going to exhale, press the arms forward, round. Inhale, open. Doing this only with the shoulder blades, the legs stay where they are. Exhale, inhale. Just trying to get some mobility. Press. Okay, press it forward and then bring it up. And then maybe there's a little bit of side swaying that goes on. Then take your arms out to the side, elbows back, open chest, and then bring your arms in, open, and then exhale. 3 more, open, exhale. Both of those legs, you feel them. Nice. Okay, roll your wrist. Kind of feel into the shoulders, the arms. Okay, float your arms up. Inhale. Look toward the front or towards the back. Feel your legs. If they're giving out, wake them back up. Reverse your warrior. Feeling that front leg, stay strong. Side angle, arm to thigh, so it's a little bit modified. As you do this, keep linking through your whole left side waist. Okay, last couple breaths. What are your hips doing, especially that back leg? Wake it up, wake it up. Warrior 2. Take a deep breath in, and then cartwheel the hands down to the floor. And then from here, come to all fours. Kickstand your right leg, straighten your left. And I move my right knee in a bit. And I'm going to use a block under my hand. Okay? So again, it's more like a modified side plank. So again, hips forward. So you're not like thrusting it, but I don't want my belly relaxed. I want my belly like I'm doing side plank, arm up, arm back, or arm at your waist. Lift this leg up just as much as you can feel this muscle working. So lift and lower a couple times and make sure you feel it, okay? Then we're gonna bring the leg forward without the hips, point, bring it back. So bring it forward and back. And this takes a lot of work in your core, right? Because I wanna bring my hips with me because it'd be a lot easier. So try not to move the hips. So maybe put your hand here if you're feeling that move and see if you can feel that strength stay in the hips. You got it. Couple more. Breathe a lot. Nice. And then put that foot down. Stretch it up and overhead. The head go. And then all the way down. Okay, have your block handy, but you won't need it yet. Down dog, and this is that squat so that my heels are in, my toes are out, and I squat. And then I turn the thighs, come forward. So this is good mobility. Knees out, knees forward. Knees out, toes out, forward. 2 more. And then I go to plank. And then I bring my knees down. And then I'm going to bring my heels up. I'm going to do a halfway. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Upward dog, and maybe you're gonna lift and lower the knees and kind of practice how I keep the core lifting, the legs stretching back. Maybe you'll hold it for 3, for 2. And then bend those knees, let the hips descend just a bit. And you can kind of look over your right and your left. Some people like this pose. Sometimes it bothers back, so be gentle if it doesn't work for you. And then up and back, child's pose. Okay, come into downward facing dog. Here's that scorpion we worked with, scorpion dog. So right leg up, bend the knee, turn the hip, and then lift that right hip high. Notice what's happening to your outer left hip. Pull it back, let the heel descend. So you want to keep that leg like you're standing on it. For 3, for 2, and then step that right leg forward, come into horse pose. So yeah, turn those toes, those knees out. Bring your right arm across, hook. Feel that shoulder stretch. Maybe a little side stretch over to the left. And then open it up. And then left arm. Draw that left shoulder down, maybe a little stretch over to the right. And then open it up. So maybe the palms roll up, thumbs down. Go a little lower. And then bringing the hands to the heart. Remember, you're going to look towards the right. I'm going to step it back towards a short stance. And again, you might not be flush to straight of your mat. Right hip under, left hip's going to be strong. I turn my waist, and then I lift up half moon. Just a mini, because I'm going to come back down to horse and practice that transition of having to weight shift and use both of your strong outer hip muscles. Just one more. And then you can hold the pose. So now I might take a block. And this is where, again, I want to make sure my right butt isn't swinging to the right, but more it's pulling towards my inner thigh line. So I can feel that right outer hip stabilizing, but it's not overloaded. Then I lift from my left pelvis, just like that scorpion dog. And I lift through my outer left hip. My inner left thigh is also lifting. They're both lifting towards my ankle to draw energy out of my pelvis. For 3, for 2, and then I just fold it forward off to turn. And take a moment, breathe, settle your hips. So now it's going to be the right leg, and we're just going to lift and lower the left. And I'm flexing the toes back. My right knee can be bent. I'm just doing those same outer hip lifts that I've been working. Spine is as straight as it can. And then take it out, back, and then swing it forward. And I'm bending and straightening my front leg just a little bit. So this is all outer hip work. You're getting all these muscles all around the pelvis activated. And then hold it. Come up, and you're in a chair pose with one leg. Sit back, hold for 3, hold for 2, and both legs together. Arms reach up, and exhale. Take the hands back to interlace, open your chest. So if you need a strap, do that, or you want to have your fingers on your hips if that's better, but lift that chest open and then hinge forward, keeping the chest stretched. So that means you need to bend your knees, please. Let the head go. And then releasing the arms down, grab the back of your head and massage the back of your neck. So I'm just kind of working my fingers in the side of my neck into the base of my hairline, massaging that area. So right underneath your ear, there's that kind of like temporal lobe. So to release the ears, it can be nice to kind of press that notch there. It's right where the bone kind of meets the jawline. You're kind of just pressing in there, massaging. You can even pull down on your ears. We'll do that when we sit. Get into the ears. Okay, and then when you're ready, bend your knees, roll up nice and slow. Roll those shoulders up, back and down. On the inhale, take your arms and stretch them up. And then exhale all the way down and forward fold. Shuffle your hips side to side a bit. Come to a halfway lift. And then plant your left arm down and then twist. And so you can have your hand on the floor, you can bend your left knee if you want. So your right leg is straight, your left knee is bent, unless you can have two straight legs. And then bend both of your knees and come up to a twist and chair. And then bring your hands to your heart and then prayer twist. So I'm not touching elbow to thigh because I want to really work the rotation. And then from here, lift the left heel up. Maybe you go heel to bum. And maybe you're just tapping because you need your balance. Hold for 3. Hug that right hip in by pressing through the inner thigh line. 2. Now bring your hands back to center. Shoot it back. Low lunge. Drop to your left knee. So first come up, long spine. You can let your hips come forward or you can keep them back, your choice. Prayer twist again. So I want you to really get that working of the core. So turn and twist your navel. And now if you can, lift that back thigh up. And I want you to lift it from the strength of your hamstring. So feel that hamstring and glute lifting that leg. Now can you work your right outer hip back by pressing through your right inner thigh line? All that putting together. Now come up and hover. And then come up and open up your arms, open arm twist. Take a deep breath. And then this time you're going to look forward towards your block line, step it in a bit, and now we're going to take that twist to a balance. So remember we did all that leg lift, so remember that what that felt like. To feel that, hand can come to the small of your back. You have 3 more breaths. Turn and twist from your waist, your right inner thigh line strong, your pelvis lifted, back leg lifted. And then when you're ready, bring your hands down, bring your left knee down, right knee down, and just let your hips go side to side. This is a nice little release for that. So watch what we're going to do is a little core dilly. And it's not too long, but we're going to take that right leg back, tuck your left toes under. Okay, you're going to go knee to your nose. Then you're going to straighten both legs as a hovering plank. And then bring that right knee in, over to the left, twist, and then start again. Left knee down, right leg lifts. Go knee to your nose. As you straighten your right leg, straighten your left. Bring your right knee across your body. Then left knee down, right leg up. You have 2 more. Knee to your nose. And then straighten both of your legs. Bring your right knee across, left knee down, right leg lifts. Here's your last one. Knee to your nose. Straighten your right and left legs. Bring your right leg across. This time, shoot it across. You can bring your hands down. You can bring your hip all the way down. Your choice for 5 breaths. If your hip's going to stay lifted, you can spin to the outer edge of your left foot and get a nice side stretch. If your hip's down, just release and feel a good stretch. Bring both hands down. Come up the way you came. And then this time, press your right foot to the right side of your mat. I'm going to move so you can see me. And then turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Now you've got an outer hip stretch. Same one, but just kind of different. You can lift and lower your hips a few times and press through your right hip. Okay, here's your last one. Step your right leg behind your left knee. And now lift your hips, lift your chest. Let your head go. And then nice and carefully come back to plank all the way down to your belly. Make a forehead pillow. Scoot your hips side to side. Now for this one, you get to choose. Either you'll bring your right knee forward, you'll get a nice little groin stretch. That might feel good. You could bring your right heel to your bum and get a thigh stretch. That might feel good. Or you can press up and bring your right knee forward, pigeon stretch. We're going to have 5 to 10 breaths, 4 counts in, Maybe you'll practice holding at the top of the inhale for 4 and then out. So maybe you'll do that for like 3 rounds, and then you'll hold at the bottom of the exhale for 4 rounds. And that should take us to the peak of our stretch. So you choose whatever position felt good for you after all that. And again, focusing on the breath. So letting the breath kind of anchor you down into your awareness of your body. Really letting that breath kind of settle, mind settle. Okay, we'll take one last breath in and out. And then when you're ready, pressing up to child's pose or down dog, just take your time. No rush there. Nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. Then we're going to step that left leg forward for warrior 1 just for a moment. So coming up. Any arms, if you want to do bound arms, you can, or eagle arms, or arms up, just stay for 5. Now for here, the outer right hip is pushing that leg back and allowing the hips to align towards the right. So that's what the outer hips do in this shape. Any pose that you want. Lift that back heel, come forward to your block. I know you thought you were done with this. We're going to take the leg up, and then we're going to bring it to the outside of the mat. So we take it up, and then we almost like a little twist. We bring it to the outer edge. We bring it up, and then we bring it over to the outer edge. 2 more. This time, go ahead and clasp it behind so that your knees squeeze together. Come all the way up, and then take a little side stretch. So grab onto the right wrist, let your head go, side stretch. And then unravel, arm stretch up to your hard exhale. Last side, last cycle. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, roll your neck. Okay, when you're ready, take a deep breath. Arms will stretch up, and then interlace those hands one last time to bind, open, stretch across your chest. If you have a strap, you can roll the shoulders onto your back. And then when you're ready, trace the back of your thighs and round and release, and then massaging again the head, the neck. You can kind of shake the head out. Sometimes interlacing your hands behind the head because helps it pull the energy down. You can kind of let the heel of your hands massage around the back of the ears. And now you're going to place the right leg or the right arm down, twist to the left. And my left leg is straight for this. And then I'll bend both knees and come up. Knees should be in the same line, open arm twist, opening through chest, and then bringing the hands together, prayer twist. So I'm not touching, you certainly can. So you can stay here and just lift the heel. That's a great way to kind of ease into it. Otherwise, you can lift the heel of the bum and you're holding for 5 breaths. This is where it's really easy to let that left hip escape to the left. So find left inner thigh line, so that you can feel the structural support of the outer left hip. Okay, shoot it back, low lunge, knee down. We're setting up for another twist, so it can be knee down, it can be hips up or hips forward, arm stretches up, and then we do take that nice deep twist. So again, here, let's set it up first. Outer left hip pulls back and in. And as I do this, I can feel my left inner thigh line firm. Okay, then I'm going to use the glutes and the hamstrings of the right leg, so we do all those leg lifts, and lift that leg from the strength of my glutes. So with the left glutes and the right glutes, you should have plenty of space here to twist. Nice and strong. Make sure this is the right leg, you guys. Are we doing the same leg twice? I hope we're not. I feel like I did this leg. but maybe I didn't. Okay, so come up, prayer, or open arm twist. Open it, open it. So again, pulling the waist back, stabilizing with your legs, and look a little further. And then take your hands down and lift up. So again, this back leg lifts up with the strength of your glutes. Find inner thigh line, right? Find inner thigh line. Twisting. For 3, for 2, and bring it all the way down to all fours. And then let your hips shift, shift, shift. And here is that little core dilly. So don't worry if it's confusing, just go slow. So float the left leg, abs are strong. Go knee to your nose, straighten both legs, bring your left leg across. Right knee down, left leg straightens. Knee to your nose. Both legs straighten, left leg across your body. Right knee down, left leg lifts. Knee to your nose. Both legs straighten, take it across your body. Both right knee down, left leg lifts. Take it across, knee to your nose. Both legs straighten across your body and shoot it out. Wow, couldn't even get it myself. So either stay here, or hips all the way to the floor, or spin your right foot flat. You can take a nice little stretch here. If you need to get off your wrist though, put your left hip down. Okay, bring both hands down. Then you're going to take your left knee back in and then take it to the outside edge of your left side of your mat. So I'm going to show you. Spin to the outer edge of your right foot. Now you're in a side plank with like a figure 4. And the more I press to my left heel, the more I'll kind of feel that hip activate. Okay, then step the left foot behind the right knee, lift. Last little bit. And then both hands come down nice and slowly. Bring your knees down, all the way down. And go ahead and shuffle your hips. So we have the choice of left knee coming in, thigh stretch, or press up, pigeon. So if you held your top of your inhale for your 4 count, and maybe now you'll kind of hold at the bottom of your exhale where you're empty of breath. Or if the breath cycles aren't working for you, then feel free to switch it up. Really let yourself immerse yourself in the sensation of your pose and in your breath. Giving your mind something physical to rest its awareness can really calm and slow the mind fluctuations. Okay, take your last deep breath in and out. And then slowly coming up to downward facing dog. Okay, step your right leg forward for warrior 1. Make sure this is your second leg. So remember, back leg lifts, front leg descends. You can do any arms that you feel. It can just be simple. We just want to kind of align one more time. Feeling the strength of your hips, feeling the lift of your spine. Pop that back heel up, come forward onto your blocks last time. So the leg goes up behind, and then I kind of squat and squeeze inner thighs. I lift up, and then I squat, feel inner thigh squeeze. Keep your abs nice and strong so you're light on the top of your pelvis. Here's your last one. And then squeeze your thighs here. So the backs of my, the front and the back of my knees meet. I'll reach up. Grab a hold of your left wrist and stretch. And then slowly coming up and out. Take a moment just to stand tall. Catch your breath. Big stretch up. Big open arm stretch out. Long spine. And then exhale onto your knees. And then have a seat. And we're going to work on those ears a little bit. So go ahead and massage. So the ears are actually really good for emotions too. There's a lot of acupressure points in the ears that are very calming. So you're going to start to massage your ears, so your earlobes. Then go inside your ear and kind of pull down and out and away as you massage. And kind of pulling up and like widening and loosening your ear. Maybe like a circular motion. And again, intentionalizing that your healing touch, right, is opening up your ears to sense more subtleties, to reinvigorate your ears. And then go behind your ears and again, massaging around the side of the skull, noticing if there's any tender spots there. And kind of the base where where the mandible, the jaw meets the skull. You might even massage up a little bit in the cheek lines. Just kind of play around with this whole area as you're breathing. Might even kind of pull down on the ears as you open and close your mouth. Then you can start to massage your head and kind of pull on your hair a little bit, kind of pull out and just kind of, again, trying to dissipate any tension in the skull and the head, kind of pulling out. So sometimes pulling on your hair feels good to kind of loosen any energy in the scalp. So let's do that for a few more moments. Yeah, and then just kind of feel and sense that. So put your hands down and just kind of feel what's different. And then rubbing your hands together, find an area of your body that felt like it really needed more awareness. So maybe that's you're going to put your heel of your hands over your eyes. If you're having mental tension, maybe it's over your heart. Maybe it's over your ears. You can do this, right? Anywhere you want, over your third eye. So when you are ready, place your hands somewhere on your body and take 5 deep breaths, just receiving your healing touch. Really taking in the feeling of your hands, the feeling of those nerves that are activated from rubbing your hands together. And then slowly let it go. So if you have 2 blocks, I'm going to show you a Shavasana that I really like. If you don't have 2 blocks, just lie on your back. If you have the 2 blocks, you're going to point them. They're going to go just right here. Okay, so I've got the razor blade edges right at that armpit line, right at the sternum line, and I'm going to rest over them. So you have to kind of adjust them. So I'm going to kind of be hammocking my chest between them, palms face up, and then my head just relaxes down towards the floor. So it should kind of press my chest open. So it's kind of like it spreads. If you can hammock your chest and lie kind of like right at the side of the humerus, it really gives you a nice like frontal chest opening and back of the neck stretch. Palms are up and your wrists stretched down. So you have to kind of play with it a bit. So you may not feel like that now. Otherwise, just lie on your back. Or lie on a block. You can put your head on a block to get that neck release. Let me know if you've got questions about that Shavasana. And then come on down. And once again, before you just let go completely, just scan your body and notice. Kind of paying attention to what shifted between the first moment that you tuned in and now. remembering that moon is in Taurus, and one of the things that a Taurus moon teaches us is that what we feed grows, right? Whatever we feed with our awareness, whatever we feed with attention, whatever we feed with time, that is what we are growing, creating. And with Jupiter being the planet that's ruling this solar cycle, right? That's really effective, right? Advice to really consider. So any work we do towards self-care of the body, towards self-care of the mind or emotions, like that is going to grow. It's going to evolve our awareness as it does improve our resilience. And when we improve our resilience, right, we can adapt to stress more easily. And so those emotional impulses that put us into fight or flight, because they activate our limbic system, can be matched with our higher mind. It can help us regulate and go, oh, it's not a bear chasing me. That's just an uncomfortable situation. And I know what to do with that. I take a time out and I breathe, or I go do some yoga, or I take a walk. So all this work that we do to tolerate amounts of stress in the practice through hard shapes, through attention, through having to try to be mindful when our mind wants to run around, like all of that is the building of the resilience, the grit that helps us adapt to our lives, to when conflict and stress and challenge arises. It helps us calm the body, stay and rest and digest, access the reasoning mind, which helps us make better choices. So take a moment to just really send gratitude to your body for this practice that helps us really feel into our body, and where sometimes stress will land in our body, and that we have these practices to breathe and to relax, to wake up and attune. And the most skillful tool we get is the awareness to sense it, so that we can attune to it. So for the last few moments, just really breathing in this space of the heart, this perceptive space that feels and senses. That allows for connection, for healing. And really just as you bring your awareness to your heart, you breathe, just imagine that heart space just flooding the rest of your body with endorphins, with love, with gratitude, appreciation for the ways in which our body can move, can heal, can adapt. Maybe you'll send some of that heart-loving energy to anyone that is not with us today that might need it. Take a few more last really deep breaths and just sending that energy of healing and love, appreciation out to every cell in your body, from your heart to your scalp, to your fingernails, to your toenails, to the creases between your toes. Imagine just bathing yourself in that energy. And then take a giant breath in, hold at the top. And then nice and slow, open your mouth. Then do it a few more times as you start to move again, breathing in nice and deep, and then an open mouth, sigh, and a surrendering. And then one more. Maybe making your way up to a seat. Today is a good weekend before these big transits to really rest and give yourself plenty of space for the good stuff. some good reading or some good time outside, some resting, reflecting, right? Really let yourself land and meet up with what you want to grow, what is growing in your life. Connecting into your heart, connecting into the hearts of each one of you that are here today in our community. Deep breath into that energy. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.